10. From the 31-yard line. Morton with those speedy receivers, Allworth and Hayes to the right. Hayes out of the backfield. He comes with the screen to Dwayne Thomas. Thomas fumbles the football.
Well, hello. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. And welcome to the Gridiron. Boy, I'm hearing so much about this Giants being livid or ticked off that the Eagles would jump in front of them and take a player they wanted. Well, I just want to maybe dive a little deeper into this subject here. But first of all, I want to say it's the draft. There's no rules. You know, if you wait too long, sometimes somebody comes along and snatches the player in front of you, like the Eagles did. Now, I'm just kind of surprised they traded with the Cowboys, but, you know, the Eagles did what they wanted to do. Now, either it was to get the player or to keep the player away from the Giants. Not sure. But 2 thumbs up to the Eagles. They saw a player they wanted. For whatever reason, you know, they made a trade. And they got the guy. Now, you know, if the Giants wanted him that badly, go get him. Trade up and go get him. Trade up to 10, 9, 8, whatever. Go get the guy. Sometimes, as the Giants have seen in the past, you know, if you sit there and it might be a player you want, you know, if you wait and you wait and you wait, somebody comes up in front of you, plucks them right away from you. That's what the Eagles did. That's how you play the draft. So to the Eagles, job well done. But I'd like to dig a little deeper into this, see who actually won and who lost out of this transaction. Now the Giants, you know, they went back from 11 to 20. Now, from going back from 11 to 20, moving back 9 spots, they saved $900,000. Not only that, they got a first rounder, a fourth rounder, and a fifth rounder. The Eagles, to jump up 2 spots, lost $550,000. They had to come up with more money. Not only that, but they lost a third rounder. Over the lifetime of the contract, Kadarius Toney's contract for 4 years is worth $13.7 million. DeVonta Smith's deal is worth $4 million. 4 years, $20.1 million. So DeVonta Smith's contract for the 4 years is worth $6.4 more million than Kadarius Toney's. What we're paying Kadarius Toney $2.5 million this year. DeVonta Smith's getting $3.6 million. So they're paying him $1.1 million more than what we're paying Kadarius Toney. $1.1 million, you can get yourself like a nice mid-round, second-round pick for $1.1 million. All right. So they lost the third round. We picked up a first, a fourth, and a fifth. Advantage Giants. Not only that, but we get the first round with the Chicago Bears pick next year. The Chicago Bears in 2021, all right, this year coming up, have the 3rd hardest schedule in the league. Not only that, we're playing 17 games. They got 9 away games, 8 home games. One of their home games is against the Giants, who's going to have maybe a little bit of revenge on their hands. They're going to try to win with a rookie quarterback. I mean, you know, sooner or later, I can see Justin Fields getting in there. And if the Bears go anywhere like 6 and 11, say, they're going to have a top 10 pick. And if the Giants fall apart, and if they, like, say, Daniel Jones, you know, we need a quarterback, right? You know, they have a top 10 pick, plus the Giants have their own first-round selection. They can move way up there and maybe get a quarterback, or take their first-round pick from 2023, throw that in there, throw 3 first-rounders in there, move way up in the first round of next year's draft, and perhaps get a quarterback, or maybe make a trade for a veteran quarterback, because we have that extra pick. And I said that extra pick could easily be a top 5, 6 pick if the Bears really do bad this year, which they might very well. But I'm just going to say that it's probably going to be a top 10 pick. And We got that by moving back 9 spots. Now, I said, now, DeVonta Smith is the better player without question than Kadarius. He's a better route runner. When he gets in the open field, he's got a shot at going. I mean, you see Kadarius Toney. He could use a little help with his route running. A lot of times I've seen, on videos, Kadarius Toney gets in the open, he gets behind guys, and somebody catches him from behind. His quickness and speed and all that, it's just, his moves are unbelievably phenomenal. But his long term, his speed, isn't, elite, totally elite. He's fast, quick, and all that, but his top end speed is he can get caught from behind. But he's like a human joystick. But saying is that the Giants moved back 9, saved $900,000 there. The life of the they're only paying $2.5 million. The Eagles got to pay $3.6. The Eagles gave up a third to get their pick. The Giants got a fourth, a fifth, and a first. And let's not forget also, okay, it's like sometimes you get the theory of relativity. Sometimes things are relative, all right? DeVonta Smith came from a team. Do you realize that 6 of the top 37 picks this year, right, were Alabama Crimson Tide offensive players? Their quarterback, running back, 2 wide receivers, 2 offensive linemen. And not to mention one of the, if not the greatest coach of all time in college history on the sideline. 6 of the top 37 picks came from Alabama offense. I mean, Christian Barmore was, I'm not including him. Patrick Surtain, I'm not including him, okay? I mean, sometimes when you're around greatness, it helps you produce better numbers, all right? He's a Heisman Trophy winner. He deserved to be a Heisman Trophy winner. He was the best football player, no questions asked. But as I said, just sometimes, when you're around greatness, it helps open things up a little bit. It makes your numbers get a little bit better. Point in hand, 1972, little history for you. Franco Harris was drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers. All right, he went to the Hall of Fame. He had a wonderful career. But you realize that Franco Harris was a part of 10 Hall of Famers on the Pittsburgh Steelers, not to mention number 11 would be their coach, Chuck Noll. They had Mike Webster, their center, Hall of Famer. Terry Bradshaw, quarterback, Hall of Famer. Franco Harris, running back, Hall of Famer. Lynn Swann, John Stallworth, wide receivers, Hall of Famer. That's 5. Number 6, Joe Green, Hall of Famer. Number 7, Jack Lambert, middle linebacker, Hall of Famer. Number 8, Jack Ham, outside linebacker, Hall of Famer. Number 9, Mel Blount, cornerback, Hall of Famer. Number 10, Donnie Shell, safety, Hall of Famer. Number 11 would be Chuck Noll, the quarterback. Do you realize he was there was 10 players on his team that went to the Hall of Fame? You know one of the reasons why he's in the Hall of Fame is because the people around them made his numbers better. You take Franco Harris in 1972, put him on the New York Giants, he ain't sniffing a Hall of Fame. The only way he's going to get to the Hall of Fame is he has to buy himself an admission ticket. Okay? Sometimes, and I said, he's a phenomenal player, DeVonta Smith. But let's keep things in perspective here a little bit, okay? When you got unbelievable players around you, that's going to help make your numbers better. Let's see what he does with the Eagles, okay? I'm dying to see what he does with the Eagles. Now, not to mention, I said the Giants when they went back with Chicago, they got a 5th round pick. So what did they do with that 5th round pick? They used that 5th round pick in the 3rd round. They took their 3rd round and their 5th round. They moved up from number 76 to number 71. It took Aaron Robinson, the cornerback from UCF. Now, one thing that did was that I think what I was reading, that caused a little bit of stir in the Eagles because I think the Eagles kind of wanted him. Now, the Eagles were at number 70 and they moved back to 73 to grab an extra 6th round pick. And they wanted to see how things would kind of play out. Well, I think the Giants jumped in front of them and snagged Aaron Robinson, which the Eagles wanted. Now, there's a video, if you look, also Howie Roseman, the GM for the Eagles, after in the third round, after the Giants jumped up and grabbed Aaron Robinson from the Eagles, right? There's a video of Howie Roseman after they drafted Milton Williams, a defensive lineman from Louisiana Tech. Howie Roseman's walking around like fist bumping everybody like they just drafted Mean Joe Green or something like that. Well, by the time Howie got over to senior football advisor Tom Donahue, he went to fist bump him, and Tom was a little pissed off. He wasn't overly happy with them taking Milton Williams. That seemed like he was a little ticked off that Howie went from 70 back to 73 to pick up an extra 6 because one or maybe two players that they might have wanted got drafted in front of him because they moved back to number 73. And one of those players just might have been Aaron Robinson. So I think the Giants might have jumped in front of the Eagles and snatched one of their players that they wanted. So the Eagles, And I said, not only that, I said the Giants next year got the first and a fourth from the Bears as well, too. Then that's not to mention, the Eagles, if they get this one right, well, congratulations. Congratulations. Oh, I can say basically it's kind of almost about time. Let's look at some of their other first-round picks recently, right? How about Jalen Reagor from last year? How did he do? He had 31 receptions last year for 1 touchdown. That's your first-round pick. Wow, 31 receptions. Wow. Congratulations. How about Andre Dillard? Huh? The tackle, right, from Washington State. Wow. There's another winner. How about the one before that? When they traded out their pick to Baltimore, and Baltimore took who? Lamar Jackson. Past NFL MVP. I'll bet you the Eagles could use Lamar Jackson right about now, right? Huh? Do you think? Then before that, then they got Derek Barnett, defensive end. In 4 years, he has 100 tackles. You draft somebody. He played in the first round. He plays 4 years for you, and he gets 25 tackles a year. Really? He gets like 1.5 tackles a game. He has like 19.5 sacks, so he doesn't even average 5 sacks a year, and he's a first-round pick. Well, how about before that? You get Nelson Aguilar. He played pretty good last year for the Raiders. Didn't play so well with the Eagles. Well, then how about Marcus Smith? Does anybody remember that first-round pick? Wow. What a beautiful pick he was. Of course, it was Carson Wentz, but what's he doing for the Eagles lately, huh? Not much. He's not on the team anymore. So I think Howie just needs to slow his roll a little bit, okay? Let's start keeping some things in perspective here. Let's see what DeVonta Smith turns out to be, all right? He's only 165 pounds. He's 1 or 2 hits away from being hurt, okay? At least Kadarius Toney weighs about 35 pounds more than DeVonta Smith, all right? So all in all, if you look at it, yeah, the Eagles got the better player. Absolutely. All right. But the Giants got what the Giants are saving in money, what the Eagles spent a third-round pick to get. The Eagles are spending more money. Not to mention that the Giants got 3 additional picks, and one of those picks could easily be a top 10 pick next year. And if everything goes okay for the Giants, and if Daniel Jones just might be their guy, well, the Giants can take that top 10 pick, possibly trade it, and get even more picks for it. So now the pick's worth even more. Because what they did with the Bears needed to come up, and they had to get a quarterback. Well, you have to come up and get a quarterback. It's going to cost you. And if the Giants are picking 7, 8, somewhere around there, and another team has to come up and get a quarterback, it's going to cost them. And they can take that 1 first rounder and maybe turn them into 2 more. So all in all, I'm going to give the greater advantage to the Giants. Yes, the Eagles got the better player. But in the long run, I'll take Kadarius Toney, the fact that the Giants saved money, and the fact that the Eagles had to spend a third-round pick, and the fact that the Giants got 3 additional picks. So all in all, I'm going to give advantage to the Giants. Well, as always, guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. You guys stay safe out there, and go Giants! Woo!